Nightly greetings, one and all. William Theo here, and this is PTV News Now. Palestinians and migrants fleeing northern Gaza after Israel's heads up are either heading for less ravaged areas along the strip, such as in the southern border in Rafah and Khan Yunis, a city 17.5 minutes or 30 miles away from the main city of Gaza. And yet Israel Defense Forces, or IDF, are not making it easy for fleeing Palestinians, with bombing attacks on Khan Yunis, where sizable groups of migrants from the north have shacked up with friends and strangers indefinitely or on layover en route to the southern border crossing at Rafah. This home of the Al-Shayr family in Khan Yunis was hit directly by airstrikes from the IDF and reduced to rubble, which scores of Palestinians have milled around to check for survivors or remains amid the ruin. Israel's ground offensive and incursion into Gaza was announced last week and extended over the weekend, but is expected to kick off anytime this week once evacuation of Palestinian civilians and foreigners are complete. Resupply missions to the BRP Sierra Madre and to Philippine detachments located thereabouts will go on, notwithstanding harassment and intimidation from the Chinese Coast Guard and militia vessels. The latest iteration announced by National Security Council Deputy Director General Jonathan Malaya in a public forum earlier today, and taking into consideration the latest high seas encounter in Rizal Reef over the weekend. On a routine resupply mission last Friday, the BRP Benguet was tailed and shadowed by a Chinese vessel on its way to Rizal Reef. Malaya said the Philippine Navy and Coast Guard will not be cowed and deterred by such bold and dangerous stunts meant to scare and discourage the country's sailors and national security patrols. Malaya questioned China's persistence in trying to hold on to what is clearly not theirs in the West Philippine Sea, with a 2016 Permanent Court of Arbitration ruling rejecting their bogus claims. In other news, French President Emmanuel Macron called for ruthless action against all agents of terrorist and extreme ideologies following the brutal stabbing of Dominique Bernard, 57, a teacher in the northern city of Arras on Friday, in which 3 others were also injured. Police have named the prime suspect and the knife-wielding attacker as Mohamed Moguchkov, 20, a Russian immigrant from the predominantly Muslim Northern Caucasus Republic of Ingushetia. Schools in France held a moment of silence about an hour ago in solemn remembrance and honor of Bernard's memory. Early class lessons in middle and high schools gave way to discussions on the attack and how to deal with it psychologically and how to protect themselves on similar or identical encounters. For his part, Macron called on law enforcement to comb through the files of radicalized individuals who could be deported, especially on youths ages 16 to 25 from Caucasus. Last Friday's killing has put government on high alert, with a troop deployment of 7,000 in and around schools for tighter security of students. At this juncture, we turn to our colleague at our Baguio City station, Ala Sunduan of PTV Cordillera. Ala?
May bag-arabi Pilipinas. Saan nga apektado ti trapiko iti Baguio City tay aldaw? Gaputa awan kadagiti para publiko a jeepney ti nakipasat iti transport strike. Ti grupo a Manibela ti nang iduulo iti nationwide transport strike, kas protesta iti naituding a deadline iti mandatory jeepney franchise consolidation into December 31 kan iti phase out iti traditional jeeps. Dakkel ti panagyaman dagiti commuter iti saan a panakipasad dagiti jeepney driver tigil pasada. Inaklon dagiti driver akasapulanda nga agbiyahe lata gaputa dakdakkel a protesta ti maawat da kadagiti apektado a commuter. Nupay subsuportaran ni Baguio City Mayor Benjamin Magalong ti panakitantan ti phase out ti traditional jeepneys. Nagyamanot daytoy kadagiti jeepney driver a nagtuloy nga agpasada itangal daw.
Kailangan pa rin ituloy para naman sa kabutihan ng ating kalikasan. At talagang importante na rin na maayos na rin at ma-modernize yung ating mga transportation, yung mga natin, public utility vehicles natin. Kailangan na rin. Pero yun lang, kailangan lang dahan-dahanin lang.
Iti sa balya damag apektado ti implementasyon ti sitio electrification program iti Benguet gapu iti kinakurang ti pondo. Iti kaudyan na datos ti Benguet Electric Cooperative as of September 2023, 1,318 manibot iti 3,960 sitio iti Benguet. Ti awanan pay lang iti supply ti kuryente. Baban iti sitio electrification program na udian na pasilawan dagiti sitio iti bakon ken kibungan ita anawen. Inaklon ti bineko nga adupay dagiti nasken a masuplayan iti kuryente ngem kang runaan a parikot ti pondo. May sapay a parikot iti sitio electrification program ti terrain iti Benguet. Agkit daw iti kanayunan na pondo ti kooperatiba iti National Electrification Administration tapno may tuloy ti SET.
We are again restricted by our budget. Even though Beneco is a 4 billion peso company, we are allowed by law to keep only 10% of that. So really, the 400 million or 10% of those sales is really for operations. We have no funding for renewable energy.
Dagiti damdamag manipod dito'y PTV Cordillera. Siyak ni Alas Sunduan, naimbag Arabi.
And that's a wrap for tonight. We look forward again for your daily news breakfast this morning. And to remind you to stay informed, keep fit, be kind, be of use, and catch the news right here on PTV. William Theo here for PTV News Now. Good evening, everyone.